Two friends caught up in the maelstrom of world events search for the truth and lost friendship. Coming up in this week's book pre-review, the books I'm excited to read. Hi, Terri Gillespie here, and welcome to Book Pre-Review, the books I'm excited to read. And yes, I'm very excited about this week's featured book and author. I have heard of Jennifer L. Wright, but I've never read any of her books. And this book sounds absolutely fascinating. I mean, listen to this title, Come Down Somewhere. Doesn't that sound mysterious? So one of the other reasons why I'm very excited about this book and about this author is that Jennifer will be my September featured author. So I'll be interviewing her on my blog and on this YouTube channel. So stay tuned for more information on that. This book released this month and is available in hardback, paperback, audiobook, and ebook. And the links for that are down below. And I just wanted to give a shout out to Tyndale and to NetGalley for the advanced reader's copy so that I could give my honest review. And there'll be more on that later. Now, the genre is historical Christian fiction, coming of age fiction, and historical fiction. Now, if you are not familiar with Jennifer Wright, a good way to get to know a new author or an author that you don't know is to go to their website. And Jennifer's website is jenwrights.com. You can see that there. It's a little confusing. It's clever, but it's a little confusing to say. So, but fortunately, that link is down below in the description section, so you don't have to try to remember it or spell it. Here is the bio excerpt on Jennifer. Jennifer has been writing since middle school, eventually earning a master's degree in journalism at Indiana University. However, it only took a few short months of covering the local news for her to realize that writing fiction is much better for the soul and definitely way more fun. Yeah, I found out the same thing. I kept wanting to write a story instead of writing the story. A born and bred Hoosier, she was plucked from the Heartland after being swept off her feet by an Air Force pilot and has spent the past decade traveling the world and every few years attempting to make old curtains in the windows of her new home. Yeah, I was a Navy wife. I totally get that. She currently resides in New Mexico with her husband, 2 children, 1 grumpy dachshund, and an overly demanding guinea pig. If It Rains is their first novel and is available from Tyndale House Publishers, wherever books are sold. She is a member of the American Christian Fiction Writers Association, ACFW, which I'm also a member, and can be found on Facebook, Instagram, and sometimes, but very rarely, on Twitter. So these are the publisher notes. Are you ready to find out a little bit more about this mysterious title? 16-year-old Olive Alexander has lived on a ranch in the Jornada del Muerto region of southern New Mexico her entire life. But when World War II begins, the government seizes her family's land for the construction of a new top-secret army post. While her mother remains behind, Olive is forced to live in nearby Alamogordo with her grandmother and find a place in a new school. When Joe Hawthorne crosses her path, Olive sees a chance for friendship, until she learns that Joe's father is the army sergeant who now occupies her beloved ranch. Wow, that would be hard. Already angry about her new reality, Olive pushes Joe away. But as she struggles to make sense of her grandmother's lapses into the past and increasingly unsettling hints about what's really happening on the ranch, she slowly warms to Joe's winsome faith and steady attempts at friendship. Until one devastating day when the sky explodes all around them and their lives are torn apart. Oh my goodness. 7 years later, Joe returns to Alamogordo, still angry and wounded by the betrayals of that fateful day. Determined to put the past behind her once and for all, Joe hunts for answers and begins to realize the truth may be far more complicated than she believed, leading her on a desperate search to find her friend before it's too late. Well, you can kind of get an idea with the explosion. Oh my goodness. This is going to be a really good read. You can purchase Come Down Somewhere. Now it makes sense, doesn't it? At Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Books A Million, BookBub, ChristianBook.com, and your local retailers and bookstores. And if it's not available on the shelf, we go up to the customer service desk and ask for it politely so that they can order it for you. Now, I do read all of these books that I talk about on the pre-reviews, and I do review them. Post reviews on applicable sites such as Amazon, BookBub, Goodreads, Barnes & Noble, Books A Million, NetGalley, and ChristianBook.com. And by the way, last week I mentioned that prior to filming these shows, I was not a fan of a certain genre. And what I've learned over the past almost 2 years is to try something new, that there may be genres that you're accustomed to and you always read, and you may not try outside of that genre. I highly encourage you to check out a new genre and just kind of challenge yourself. And you might be surprised. I know I sure was. Just to also remind you that my website link is down below, and you can find out about my books as well as some recipes and some devotions and all sorts of fun stuff that's free. And also, if you sign up for my newsletter, there are 2 free downloads that you might enjoy. So also, I really enjoy keeping in touch with my viewers and my readers. And the best way to do that is through my newsletter. Yes, definitely. And also on social media. So those icons are popping up even as we speak. And just know that all the links to those icons are down below in the description section. So that's it for this week. I'm really looking forward to getting to know Jennifer during our author highlight and giveaway interviews. So stay tuned for more for that. And in the meantime, stay tuned for next week's book pre-review. So God bless and keep reading and try something new.